Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about bankroll management. Once again, I'm joined by Scott Carter. The most important tool to being successful in this business is bankroll management. Am I correct?
I think you called me a tool there for a second. No, you are correct. You are correct, sir.
No, today what we're going to do, we're going to talk about bankroll management, breaking down bankroll basics for football, how to determine your unit size, what possibly you should start your bankroll with. And always remember, folks, college football and NFL, you want to have yourselves a couple books, not just one, because the line shopping difference from one book to the other is absolutely all that you need as far as an edge to get the best deal from the book. Now, with that being said, how do you, Scott, determine a unit size when you get ready to open up a bankroll for football? Let's give our viewers an example from beginning to end, the whole step process, if you don't mind. And I'm talking about going to SBR Odds, finding your book, run with it, buddy.
Well, unit size is different. I'm sure whatever you want your unit size to be is different from the other person, but we all have the same characteristics, and that is a unit size should be one number that you are comfortable with. Some guys will, have a bigger bankroll to start with,
sure,
and their unit size might be bigger.
Yeah.
The key is to keep it consistent,
yes,
right? For example, my general unit size is $20. That's my unit size. Sometimes I'll bet 5 units on a game that I feel comfortable with. Sometimes I'll bet a tenth of a unit on a game because I don't feel comfortable with it. I might put it on a parlay or whatever, but that's the key. And the key that'll keep you disciplined.
Sure.
And betting is all about discipline. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And also what it does, it helps you by staying consistent with your unit size. That helps you also. It basically balances the checkbook automatically is what it does. It makes it so much easier to take care of your bankroll.
You can look at the games on the weekend. If it's football, for example, we talked about the NFL at the beginning.
Yeah.
If you know there's X amount of games on the weekend, 14, 16 games, whatever there is, you know that if you want to have action on all these games or most of them, if your unit size is $10 and your bankroll is $100, then you got 10 games to bet on.
Now I got to step in on here. Now, when you
go.
were looking at a slate and it's got like 14 games, and again, everybody's different. Everybody finds their angle different. Do you, Scott? Do you put? I mean, literally, do you put action on almost every game, or are you just trying to find that 1 or 2 or 3 spots and hit it hard? All right. And I know there's a whole different strategy for everybody the way they attack this monster.
I probably, if my weakness is, or my downfall is, I bet too many games.
Okay.
I think that's a downfall of a lot of players.
And because obviously the more games you bet, the less your chances are of winning. But now if you spread it out and you do some hedging along the way, which kind of protects yourself, and that's a whole nother, we'll have that on another video, how to hedge bets and weighing off and things of that nature. But I find for me, again, this is just for me, because I used to play the 8 to 10 games on a Sunday. I used to put 200 on each game, and I started studying, getting heavy, and started getting into the first halves. And one day I just said to myself, you know what, I'm going to find a couple good quality games, take the units that I would have put on others, and I'm going to add those units to this play. I'm going to hit these 2, hit it hard, load my units up there, bam. And I just feel better about it. That works for me, and the results have been amazing.
So many times when the dust settles after the weekend's finished, you look at all the plays you make and you go, why did I bet on those other games? I had no business betting on them. The ones that I knew and I researched and I loved, those ones hit. The other ones, I just put it on because I wanted action on those games. I kicked myself. Profitable weekend or not profitable weekend sometimes determines that.
Exactly, and I can't tell you how many times I've had that boot with the string, pulling it, just kicking myself in the ass for the same exact thing, because I swore I wasn't going to do it, but got into that euphoria of, oh my God, and especially when you're coming off some wins and you think you're at that invincible point, because it happens to everybody in this business. It does. It just draws you in like that. That's when you got to just cut, stop, and just literally just regroup and take care of what you need to take care of.
And then that goes right back to unit size.
Exactly.
Don't go crazy when you're on a hot streak. Like what does a roller coaster do? It goes up, and it goes down. What does a wave do? It goes up and down, right?
Exactly.
And if you're gonna bet, your unit size on a regular time, you might get on a hot streak, win 5 or 6 or in a row. But you know what? What comes up goes down.
It goes down.
If you start increasing your unit size because you're overconfident, when you hit that downturn, all that work to get to that point is going to be gone.
Exactly.
And that's where discipline comes in.
And discipline. No, it is. It's everything. I've known many clients, and since I've been in this business, they'll get disciplined, teach them that discipline. They stay disciplined throughout the season, and then all of a sudden it becomes playoff time, and they're just throwing loads of money. They're not even thinking about units. All the discipline went out the window because they're looking for the big hit. But guess what? This is not a sprint. It's a marathon, all right? That's where the discipline has to be all the time, because I'm just here to tell you, too many people got into this between having too many handicappers confusing them, too many books they didn't know, and they didn't take the time to line shop, and didn't set up, all right, a system that is disciplined discipline to stay successful. Within 3 weeks of the season, after opening their bankroll, they were looking up going, what the hell just hit me? And their bankroll was dry, and next thing you know, they're chasing. That is what you want to stay away from in this business. Am I correct?
Exactly. Can't say it better than I wish I could add more to that, but that's, you got me not wanting to do it.
Well, it's amazing, and it took a while for me. That's why I say it so passionately, because I live it, and I did live it. I was that sinking, chasing. I mean, I was chasing. I'm going to get this bastard one way or the other. You know what I finally found when something happened, because I had a euphoria. It was like, you better change this style, this pattern, or you're going to get out of this business right away. So I did it, and then I stuck with it, and you know, from there, I never gloat when I win. I just don't. Baseball, I do my picks because baseball's it's not my finest sport to handicap, but my unit size decreases immensely. Okay, I play more or less just for fun. I don't look for profit on baseball. Can it be done? Absolutely. But I find my strengths in other areas. That's another thing. When you come into this business, find your strength. Find what works for you. All right, you don't have to just bet on every sport and every game. Hell no. You discipline yourself. You pick your spots. You hit it hard when you do. And I'm telling you right now, that's how you beat the bookie. That's how you become an investor and not a gambler.
And you're a lifetime investor. You invest all year into your profession, right? You're not like everyday gambler.
No.
Some guys are just football guys. They don't even watch sports until football season comes around.
Exactly.
You need to keep your mental physique in your mental head sharp the whole year when the football isn't around until football comes. Then you hit it hard.
Exactly.
That's what you do,
and that's the game plan, and that works. That's like I don't want to go into that analogy, but also what's very, very, very important is that as you experience success in this, all right, you never let it get to your head. Do you think, you know what, I'm going to increase my unit size because you just won 5 in a row? That's what gets you in trouble. Stay steady. Stay steady.
Take the gain. Move on next week. It's always going to come. The next week's going to come. Don't try to blow it all at once.
That's it.
Chasing it. Right? That's the thing.
Well, with that being said, I appreciate it, folks. This is the beginning. Bankroll management. How to set up that bankroll. How to get your unit size for college and pro football. Again, it could be 2-3% of your bankroll. Again, it depends on what you're comfortable with. Because I have guys that'll build up their bankroll for the year, knowing that this is an option. It's if I lose this, I'm okay with that. But when you determine that, make sure you're breaking down your sizes and stick to it. I like to go 10% of my bankroll. If I start out with a $5,000 bankroll, I'm doing $500 units, and that for me works. It's productive. So stick with it. It's all about discipline. Beat your book.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SPR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.